What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hensey, joined today by the man for the second time today, Brandon Kramer. How we doing, Brandon?
I don't know what I just watched, and I don't like it.
Listen, chat, we're coming off a brutal loss tonight. A shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Let's take attendance, roll call, guess, right? You guys know the deal. Shout out to KG Baseball, Matt, BB, that's an interesting name. Glenn, Amy, Anthony, Joseph. Who else we got? We got Yoelvis, David, Felix, Cabazon. I think I pronounced that properly. Sorry if I butchered it. We got CJ, Lori, Jesse Dominguez, D-Dog. Who else we got? Michael. Shout out to everybody currently in chat. Sorry if I missed anybody. Brandon, tonight was like the worst possible game we could have seen out of the Yankees. And it's kind of unfortunate, right? Because we made like our pregame predictions and whatnot. And you had faith going into tonight. And I didn't. Clearly, I think I was right.
Bro, I mean, I turned the game off. I rarely turn games off. But, like, honestly, first of all, I just want to say that I honestly hope that never umps a game again. Yeah. He was awful.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Rougned Odor, he makes more contact with other players than he does in actual baseball.
Yeah, but before we get like too deep into it, because there's a lot of things that we could break down from tonight, and there wasn't a lot of positives to take away. But I want to focus on the umpire really quickly, because there was a ton of calls that went not the Yankees' way, right? And it kind of added up to, obviously the Yankees didn't lose because of it, but it kind of contributed to just that piss poor mentality throughout the game. Bro, but look, you got to look at Boone in that situation. This is kind of the second straight game, right, where the Yankees got screwed over by poor umpiring calls. The players were visibly frustrated, and Aaron Boone just sits on his thumbs in the dugout. That can't keep happening. I understand, like, Boone has a heart issue. He doesn't want to get himself too riled up.
I do think, though, he's actually not allowed to, and now actually thinking about that,
get it. And me and Derek from MYY Recaps, shout out to him. We talked about this a couple days ago. If Aaron Boone cannot fire up and argue with umpires, that's a part of your job.
Where's Phil Nevin?
Bro, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a part of your job as a manager. And if you can't do that, maybe, like, just for your own personal health reasons, maybe you should take some time off. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't think it's wrong to say that.
I do think this, though. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things on Boone. But when it comes to the lineup, that you can't put that on Boone. Sure. Honestly, the lineup up and down has been god-awful. And if there's one person to blame, it's Marcus Timms. I don't know who, it's probably Timms and whoever the other assistant hitting coach is, who is putting out this hitting plan. But I think it says, they're probably writing down, they're like, hey, take fastballs down the middle. Aaron Hicks swinging anything in the zone, anything outside the strike zone. I mean, Gary Sanchez, he got unlucky, but he was hitting the ball hard. Gio Urshela is the only guy hitting. Gleyber Torres forgot how to hit a baseball.
While you talk about that, let me whip out the box score just so we could kind of have everything out on paper here.
Gleyber Torres has 1 hit. Stan had 1 hit, but
let's
2
start
strikeouts.
from the top. Let's start from the top. DJ 0 for 4, slow start to the season. I guess.
I'm not worried about him.
Judge 0 for 4, not too worried about him either. He's had quality games before this. Gleyber 1 for 3, a little bit worried about him.
He's starting to hit the ball a little bit harder.
Yeah. Stanton, I guess his home run was one of the only bright spots tonight for the Yankees offense. Gio, he's kind of looked good all season. Hicks, another abysmal night, I guess. Sanchez, rough night. Frazier looks as lost as ever. And Odor, still not a good hitter. Odor's almost batting under 100.
Why did they pinch hit for Gary?
I don't know. I think that they probably just didn't want to waste Gary behind the plate in a blowout game, which can make sense. But I mean, listen, bro. I think that there's so much to say, but there's so little to say just because of how abysmal this game was in the sense of defense too, bro. Like 3 errors. It seemed like nothing went the Yankees' way. Let's look at the pitching really quick. Brandon, I know you're a fan of Nick Nelson, but he started off the season looking hot.
He didn't have it from the start.
He hasn't had it in his past few appearances. I thought the use of the opener is kind of stupid anyway.
Yeah.
Michael King needs to start this game. Michael King has been awesome this season. Shout out to him. He gave the Yankees 3 scoreless, kept them in the game. After Nelson's rough start.
No, he
really didn't. Sessa came in, only 1 earned run, but you see 4 runs there just because the defense is atrocious. Jack makes a good point here. They probably took out Gary because there's a day game. No, there's not a day game tomorrow.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow Saturday. You're right.
Okay, thank you.
That makes sense.
I mean, when it comes down to this, I don't think this is like an issue of like Cashman not providing the team with talent this year. This team has some great talent. It's, again, you can look amazing on paper, but at the end of the day, manager aside, you have to go out there and do what you're supposed to do. The Yankees are missing so many hittable pitches, and I don't know what it is. I mean, we really did not play well during the spring.
Yeah. No, I know. And I think kind of what we realized was, I think what we thought was once the regular season started, the team was just going to like flip a switch and all of a sudden the offense was going to light on fire. That hasn't happened. And you know what? Let's kind of address for a second what went on at Yankee Stadium tonight. And you know, I can't really put the fans to too much blame. Obviously, you should never be throwing stuff on the field. But there was baseballs being thrown on the field, a lot of stuff being thrown on the field at some point.
How did they get all those baseballs, bro? There was like,
I don't know.
Anything. Did Odor hit them?
Apparently they were like souvenir balls that you could like buy from the gift shops and whatnot. That's what I saw on Twitter.
That's like $20. Wow.
No, I know. Dedication. Like $20 down the drain. But look, a lot of members of the Yankees media were kind of like tweeting. They're like, I don't understand like what all this anger is for. Like you should be accustomed with the Yankees fan base now. When the team is playing this poorly, the fan base has no other choice than to just riot, right? Especially a fan base that wasn't able to attend any games last season, and now they're back this year for the first time in 13 months. Bro, I don't know. I'm not defending it, but I understand where they're coming from, right?
Yeah, I mean, you still should never throw stuff on the field, but like, I get it.
Yeah.
But honestly, at the end of the day, it's just the hitters not producing. It really is not Boone is not arguing some things, but at the end of the day, Boone's not the one going out there to do the hitting. Our hitting has been atrocious, and there's not much he can say to get the team fired up because at the end of the day, they have to go up there and execute the plan to hit, and they're not doing that.
Listen, here's my thing. It's the fact that this team has no life. Like, it's lifeless.
We need Luke Voigt.
Bro, we don't is Luke Voigt going to change the entire lineup?
No, I mean, I will say this, though.
But, Brandon, before you do say that, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Looking at this team, I'm surprised they have 5 wins right now.
Oh, I was saying the same. I was saying the same thing when I was watching the game with my mom. I'm like, they crawled their way to those 5 wins. I mean, have the Yankees started this slow before? Yes. Have they? I think the year they won 103 games, they started like this. But even when that happened, they didn't look this lifeless.
Yeah.
They need something to go their way.
You know what's really interesting?
I'm honestly hoping we get no hit tomorrow. Maybe that'll wake us up.
You know, Tyler Glasnow is going to dog this lineup tomorrow.
Bro, he's going to, you know what? He's going to break the record for single game strikeouts.
Bro,
21.
The Yankees made Michael Wacha Okay, Michael Wacha, the guy who couldn't cut the Mets rotation last year, looked like an absolute Cy Young. And I think it's kind of fair to say that this is the first time we have seen the Yankees lineup fully healthy, besides Luke Voit, look this bad, right? I mean, last season, they looked atrocious towards the end of the season, middle season. But the excuse was that they had a ton of injuries, right? It wasn't the starting guys. But now we have just about everybody, and there's no life. And we entered a season this year where the Yankees were odds-on favorites in the American League, and they do not look like that at all.
I mean, everyone, the White Sox are started, like our competition started slow, but still, we can't use that as an excuse to be like, oh, we're starting slow.
Bro, that's even more of an excuse as to why you should get hot.
You can literally run away. You can
exactly.
Honestly, you could run like the Red Sox started off hot. They're gonna cool down. They're not a really that good team on paper, but you had literally a chance to run away with this division from April.
I know. This is actually a funny comment. We had more errors than hits off Boston. That's actually sad to think. It's just so weird. Listen, chat, throw us some questions in the comments, just because I'm kind of at a loss for words for this team right now. Usually we come on here after, and I'm the beacon of positivity, and I like to just make everyone just feel better about how things are going. I completely understand
too.
I completely understand right now why fans are starting to hit the panic button, because tonight's game was probably the worst of the season. But shout out to Ruben Cruz with a $5 dono. Appreciate you, my man. Straight legend in the chat. Bro, King needs to start. He has Shoni Kapich. I don't care if he isn't a huge strikeout guy. He's a legit starter. I'm done with the opener. Ruben, I agree with you. I think what the Yankees do is they try to outsmart themselves. And we kind of saw that in the postseason last year. We kind of see it in the postseason every year. The Yankees think that they're smarter than everybody else. They thought, bro, they thought they were so much smarter than the Rays last year when they had Devi Garcia come out be the opener, and then J.A. Happ came in, right? They thought they were so much smarter than the Rays. But the opener thing is stupid. The Rays only
Nelson's not an opener. He's not an opener.
Exactly. The Yankees started utilizing the opener philosophy because the Rays did. And the Rays only did it because they didn't have enough starting pitching.
We needed to do in 2019. We needed to do it. And also, Brian Hoke just tweeted something out, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant. He was like, "The Yankees are 5-8. Last time they were 5-8 was 2019 when they won 103 games." I get that you want to make fans optimistic, but I'm sick and tired. Everyone's like, "We got to get over the past," but we see ourselves each and every year comparing. Oh, we started like this in that year. Each team is different. What we can tell from this team does not have the same grit and intensity that the one in 2019 did. 2019 had a chip on their shoulder. They literally had Thairo Estrada batting like fifth. They have everyone in this lineup, and no one can hit.
I'm not going to count out the fact, though, that this team can still maybe find that chip on their shoulder eventually.
They're gonna win the division. They're gonna win over 100 games. But there are glaring concerns right now. How do we not know that this team will not be this type of hitters in the playoffs again? Because they've done it year in and year out.
No, I definitely agree. The only thing that we have to go based off of right now is that this team will not perform in the playoffs.
I don't see them doing it.
Yo Elvis with a $5 dono. Appreciate you, Yo Elvis. You are the man. Shout out to you. Can we start trading like 2016? I definitely don't think that's gonna happen. But bro, they're definitely have to make some moves. I think at the deadline this year, if they stand pat, that's the worst possible thing that could happen. They need something to inject into this roster. No,
I got something. You're not gonna like it.
What, trading who? Glaber?
Clint Frazier.
You can't trade Clint right now. His value's probably at his all-time low.
No, at the All-Star. I mean, I will say this though. It's time to. He keeps trying to fight through when he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. I think it's time to give Mike Tauchman the start. I love Clint Frazier, but maybe a couple-day reset. Maybe you know what? Keep him out for the rest of this series. Let him reset his brain.
Yeah.
And just because I truly think he just needs a mental reset. He has the talent. He just sit down, take the weekend off, reset your mind, let Tauchman go in, and see what he can do.
As long as it's not Brett Gardner, I don't care.
It probably will be.
COVID 1984. Now we have watched Lindor with the Mets for years when he could have been playing in Yankee Stadium. I don't know if Lindor would have made a huge impact on this team right now.
No, he wouldn't have.
They would have needed a lot. By the way, Brandon, you could put your leg down any moment.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see. Glenn Palomo says we're turning the corner every game. Boone's voice. What did Boone make his press conference for today yet?
Yeah, no. So what he said was, he said he addressed the team, and the person was like, "Well, what'd you say?" And he's like, "That's for the clubhouse." I get that, not sharing what goes on in the clubhouse, but just from his tone, he kind of seemed pissed.
That's what he said today.
Yeah.
Didn't he say that last year too?
No. It was 2 years ago. He said he feels like we're turning the corner. Then they went to Judge, and he was like, "Turning the corner."
No, I could have sworn that like either last year or the year
during
before,
the 10-game losing streak. During the 10-game
he said like that's
streak.
for the clubhouse to know or something, right?
No. He said that he thought they were close.
Oh, okay. Yeah, listen, Boone is a joke. Like, now I kind of want to go on a rant. Aaron Boone is a straight joke of a manager, bro. I've never seen a manager watch their players be visibly frustrated with the home plate umpire and get screwed over by calls like a ridiculous amount of times during the game and sit back on your thumbs and do nothing. It's actually sickening as a manager to just sit back and do nothing in that case. You need something to rile this team up because they're dead. You see. Oh, I just bit my tongue. You see your team on the field. No, yeah. You see your team on the field with absolutely no life in them, right? How do you sit back and do nothing? Bro, if I was a little league coach and my team was playing like that, I'd be livid, let alone the manager of the New York Yankees. What are we doing?
Do we even work on fielding? Because, I will say, though, Gleyber Torres, his throws have been a lot better now recently. His throws have been better. Rougned Odor can't field to save his life. And I know Jay Bruce can't do anything, but honestly, at what point you're like, you know what? Mike Ford, come up. I mean, he can't be any worse. Put DJ LeMahieu at second base, please. Rougned Odor made more contact with Yandy Diaz than he made with the ball tonight.
That was good. That's a good. Did you work on that?
Or no, I didn't. That was off the top of my head.
Nice job, Brandon. Let's see. You got to take those. You got to take those positive comments. Jesse Dominguez said Stanton's home run tonight was the only positive thing. It was. It really was. And then it kind of canceled out because Stanton's next at bat was absolutely beautiful.
I didn't watch the game. I literally turned the game off.
Yeah, listen, chat. You guys could guarantee one thing out of me. I'm probably gonna watch the game until the final out, no matter what. Just because, bro, regardless of what goes down in the game, I just like knowing what's going on, right? I mean,
normally I do watch it, but tonight I was just I was not in the mood to sit back and just watch. The ump really pissed me off. I was sitting on the couch with my mom, and when he didn't call that a strike, I also hated him because I don't know if he gives an audible call before, but he took so long to call a strike. Also, Yes Network was having issues today. It started off in Spanish.
Yeah, let's address that for a minute because here I am. I turn on Yes Network.
I thought I was on the SAP button. I was like, what's going on? I hear Michael K. and Ricky Ricardo, who, by the way, is a really good announcer.
Bro, right after 643 DP on Derek's channel, I go downstairs, I'm watching the Yankee game, and I hear Spanish. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I mess with the settings or something? Like, what's going on? And then I go through my settings. It says the language is in English. Bro, what are we doing? And then that's when I had to text our group chat. I'm like, is the game in Spanish for anybody else, or am I just stupid?
I responded. And I was like, yeah, it's in Spanish.
Bro, how does that happen? Yes Network might have the worst broadcast. Someone's fired.
Bro, but also, you have the center field camera. They had it perfect. But you know what? Let me move it against sinker ballers.
It's stupid. But listen, shout out to Ruben Cruz with another $5 dono. Appreciate you, my man. Straight legend. Bench Hicks, start Talkman, and commit to Clint. Clint needs to get everyday reps without having to continue worrying about being sat after 2 games. I agree 1,000%, Ruben. I don't know if you necessarily bench Hicks though. I think
he needs to hit from the right side. I'm done. Did you see the split? Did you see the splits that they showed?
I know the splits. I know the splits.
8 something, and he's batting over 300.
I get it, but I don't care. These guys need to work through their struggles. Yeah. That's the only way they're going to get better. I still think we have faith in Hicks. Now, if you want to cycle Talkman into the lineup and kind of give Clint and Hicks off days in between each other and just kind of get Talkman consistent playing time, that would be elite. I would love that. But the problem is the Yankees don't do that. If they give Hicks or Clint an off day, Gardner's always that guy that comes in. I would like to see Talkman take that spot from Gardner and kind of be the Yankees' 4th outfielder.
I agree.
We don't see enough of Mike Talkman, and it sucks because that dude has a lot of potential.
The Rays still don't scare me. because they're not playing well. We're just making them look like a good team.
They do because they own us mentally, and that's something that's very. It's something that's not talked about enough. The Rays have a huge mental edge on the Yankees since last season. Let's not forget, Brennan, 2019, the Yankees-Rays games were really good, but the Yankees had their moments against the Rays, right? Last year, they didn't. The Rays owned us, and now in 2021, they own us as well. It's something that should be very concerning for the Yankees, especially going into the playoffs, because that's when it matters, and the Rays owned us there too.
We lost to Michael Wacha.
Exactly. It's sad.
But did we let Michael Wacha 3-hit us?
I do want to bring up Michael Johnson's donation. Shout out to you, Michael Johnson.
Love him. Okay. we love him. He's a good Rays fan.
Chat. Let me mention who Michael Johnson is. Michael Johnson started coming in the streams, I think last year when the Yankees were playing the Rays, and I think in the playoffs. Yeah. Awesome Rays fan. Probably the only Rays fan that I know, but he's an awesome dude. So Michael, I appreciate the $10 dono. You are the man. He said, is this what being a Yanks fan is like? Start burning the place to the ground 15 games in. Relax, y'all. You guys have a solid roster. Just need more pitching, and the bats will figure it out. Raise up. Listen, Michael, I have to agree with you. Listen, we shouldn't be burning things to the ground 15 games in. But I think Yankee fans do have a right to be frustrated at this point.
There's no sign of them, I hate to say this word, turning the corner. There's like no sign of them working out the kinks. It's kind of like
they're getting worse.
Like what I'm trying to think of, like an analogy. Like, you know, when like with like a gear, like sometimes like a gear is stuck and like you sometimes have to kind of work through it. It's not
so budging. They need some oil.
They need some oil, but
okay.
They don't have any oil.
No, they
don't know.
Aaron Boone, what you doing?
No. He's like half cyborg.
No, but seriously, like I think it's okay. I understand both sides of the argument here, right? So people that say like it's time to start worrying about the Yankees, but also people who say like stop worrying about the Yankees. Like I understand both arguments because there's a very important case for both. But I think right now, 15 games in, the Yankees look absolutely terrible. If they were losing close games, if they were losing games because of freak accidents, we wouldn't be too concerned. But the Yankees are being blown out of the water by teams like the Rays, teams like the Blue Jays, and they're just not even being competitive at that same time. And I think that's the most concerning part, that one, they're not being competitive with their bats against decent pitching. Listen, Michael, I don't know how much you like Michael Wacha. He's got the same first name as you, but he's not an elite pitcher that the Yankees should be dominated against, right? And I think that's why we're so frustrated at this point, because we're facing mediocre pitching and getting absolutely flustered. So it's a bad sign of what's to come.
Here's the thing. Our starting pitching, yeah, it's been bad, but the Yankees were used to scoring 6 runs a game. If you have Jordan Montgomery coming out every 5th day and giving up 3 to 4 runs, I'm sorry, but I'll take that any day of the week. That's what your 5th starter should do. Yeah, Corey Kluber's working out the kinks, but if he can go out and give up 3 to 4 runs a game, you're expected to score at least 6 runs a game. You're the New York Yankees with a star-studded lineup. 6 runs should be easy. Honestly, should be the minimum. That's why the pitching has looked so bad. Could we use another starter? Yes. But we can make our lives a lot easier. Here's the thing. If you put up 8 runs in the first 3 innings, your starter can cruise. There's a different mentality when you have an 8-run lead versus a 1-run lead, because you're like, oh, I can't make one mistake pitch. It's gone, tie game. When it's 8-0, you're like, you know what? Let me attack the hitters, make them chase. Like, it's a different mentality.
You know what I think is important to look at here? I want to bring up Lori's comment, and I got to find it. But she mentioned that this is the same Rays team that lost 3 out of 4 to the Rangers. And it seems like what the Rays understand right here. Texas just killed the Rays, and then the Rays come in and laugh in our face. I think it's what's important to understand between these two teams is the Rays know the games that like they play their ass off for. And I think like they kind of look at their manager towards that. And as much as everyone hates Kevin Cash, I feel like he instills some sort of motivation in his players, especially in big games like this. They know when they come to Yankee Stadium, they're giving it their 110%. And I don't feel like the Yankees go into any series, let alone against a heavy divisional rival like the Rays, and kind of give that same effort, just because we don't see that same heart, right? From the first inning to the 9th inning, we see the Rays giving it their all. We don't see that from the Yankees even in the first inning. Does that make sense? It just seems like they play with more heart than we do.
So I started to look at my phone, but we have a quote from Clint Frazier. Brian Hoke says, Clint Frazier is making it sound like Aaron Boone was angry tonight. He's a chill guy who is so chill. When he does address us the way he does, everyone should listen. He's not the kind of guy that gets upset. It was needed. And I will say this, I will give credit to Boone when credit is deserved. In his post-game press conference, he seemed pissed because, like, I think I actually know who asked the question. I think it was Marley Rivera who asked him, "What'd you say to the team?" Questions. He was like, "That's something for the clubhouse." He kind of like snapped, and I'm like, "Okay, Boone." And like you said, I don't disagree with him not sharing what he said to the club because that's true. What happens in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse. You don't have to detail that. Girardi wouldn't have detailed it. Joe Torre wouldn't have detailed it. That stuff stays in the clubhouse. But getting the sense of him, I do believe he was pissed. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. Boone's not going out there to hit. I don't like Aaron Boone. I think we could have gone with a different manager. I always wanted Hensley Mullins. But at the end of the day, Boone's not the one who's going to make the team hit.
I agree. But also, I mean, you could counter-argue that and say that Boone kind of provides the team with the mental fortitude.
What was someone made an analogy. Like, he's like, you know that really bad kid on like a high school baseball team? The one that everyone loves, but he only gets playing time because he's like
the coach's kid.
The coach's kid. That's what Boone is. Really bad at his job, but only gets spotlight because of, like, let's say he made one good play. Literally, that's with Boone. I don't know if he's just hiding his true kind of demeanor in the clubhouse, but like, remember in 2018 when we were losing to the Orioles and Phil Nevin was ripping into the team in the dugout?
Didn't he do it against the Tigers as well?
I don't know if it was against
in Detroit, I believe.
All I know is there was a moment against the Orioles, he was ripping into the team. Yeah. Honestly, slap each and every player across the face. Be like, wake up. Like, yeah, it's April. At the end of the day, you're most likely going to win the division. But these are some glaring issues. Like, this is
listen, bro.
Like, we're not saying panic, the season's over. We're saying, hey, we got some issues, and if it doesn't turn around, like, we're screwed.
Isn't that a song? I got issues, and you got them too. It's got to be a song. It sounds familiar. Yo, chat, tell me if that's a song. Shout out to you, Elvis, though, with the $5 dono. Appreciate you again, my man. Straight up legend. This is what Boone said, guys. We did great out there. Please fire him with cash. Now, Brandon, this is actually a topic here. Do we think Aaron Boone is going to be the manager for the foreseeable future? Because I'm going to say yes. Like, I think he's going to be manager longer than anyone on the team right now is still on the Yankees. I could see Aaron Boone being the manager for maybe the next 10 years. No joke. The organization loves him, Brandon. Regardless of performance, he's their guy. And he's young.
I want Buck Showalter because that dude.
They're never.
I know Brandon, they're never going to get him. But I get where you're coming from, and I can see they want a manager that they can control. Now,
yes,
when people say,
I love Buck, but they're never going to go from an old school manager like Girardi to a new school back to an old school.
This hurts to say, but there's a reason why Buck Showalter hasn't found another job. There's a reason why.
Well, that's mean.
There's a reason why he hasn't found another manager job, and Dusty Baker has. Because Buck Showalter had a reluctance to include analytics. I mean, honestly, the fireable offense was when, like, you know what? Zach Britton, who I will say this should have won Cy Young in 2016. I'm sorry, he should have. He should have.
And that's not just because he's a Yankee now.
That's because he had one of the best, if not the best reliever year you've ever had. Like, he rivaled Gagne's 84 save season.
Yeah.
Which was, like, did he give, like, 2 runs the entire year? Unhittable.
Yeah.
But now, the thing with Cashman's constructed this roster well. Like, I don't know why Yankee fans are like, oh, let's trade for Story, let's trade for Lindor. There's also like thing like we do know if we traded for Lindor, yeah, it would have been great. But you would have had to have signed him to a $340+ million deal. You know what that would end up resulting in? You have now 3 $300+ million deals. You're not going to be able to re-sign Judge. Like, you can get. I think I don't know why this number keeps popping up in my head. I see Corey Seager getting about 30 a year, but if you get that on a 4-year deal, that actually is better than a 12, 13-year deal worth $34 million. Don't get me wrong, would have loved Lindor, but there are times when a practical contract and stuff like this after COVID, I get staying under the luxury tax. And here's the thing,
Yeah.
Corey Kluber, we all love the signing when it happened. Does he still have a chance to turn it around? Yes. Anyone who was expecting him to be the guy he was in 2017 was out of their mind. Tyone has not pitched in 2 years. He's going to take a little bit. Montgomery.
But same thing with Kluber. Like, you got to give him time, you know? Yeah. But I do want to bring up Lori's donation. Shout out to Lori with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Lori. You are a straight up legend. What is Thames doing all day? Certainly not working on a plan. Now, Brendan, I think me and you were kind of on the same boat as far as Thames goes.
What is his job? Like, I want to know what he does because
wait, Brendan, before you rant. We were in the same boat this offseason thinking that he was all but gone, right? I mean, just based on how bad the Yankees offense has been in the postseason the past couple of years, it made no sense to bring him back. But he came back this season. So, Brandon, you could rant. I know no one really likes Marcus Thames, but go for it.
I mean, all I remember him doing was his first career home run was off of Randy Johnson. And he had a walk-off home run off of Jonathan Papelbon. I mean,
yeah.
But, like, what is the plan that goes in to each day? Is it look at fastballs down the middle? Like, I get maybe not swinging at the first pitch, but like Gleyber Torres, I don't know what has happened to him. He looks lost. Aaron Hicks, it's been 3 years. He doesn't know how to hit a changeup the other way. Gary, whoever Gary worked with, 100% was not Marcus Thames because Gary fixed himself.
You're going to say Eric Thames?
I don't know why.
Is he still in the league?
Eric, no, he's in
the Nationals, right?
No, he's in Japan. He's either in Japan or Korea.
Went back there
with Travis Shaw. No, he's with the Giants in Japan because he had to shave his beard. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, Travis Shaw's on the Brewers.
No, not Travis Shaw. Justin Smoke. My bad, Justin Smoke.
Okay. All right, go back on with what you're saying.
What is it like? What we see what happened with Kevin Long. He goes to the Nationals 2019. They win a World Series.
Yeah.
What was their motto? Situational hitting. Yes, you had Juan Soto hitting absolute nukes.
But it's not only that. Juan Soto came up with clutch.
Against Josh Hader had a clutch hit.
Yeah, not just nukes.
That base hit to score Adam Eaton from second base to make it a 4-2 game. Like, that's situational hitting. I don't think it's a roster issue because if you look at it, the bullpen's been really good. The reason why Nick Nelson, I don't think, did well today, because he's not a starter. Pitchers are creatures of habit. You put him in a situation he's not used to, he's going to be shaky. The only reason why Chad Green was a good opener, he used to be a starter. And Chad Green, I'm convinced, has no emotions. I don't think that man has, emotions. I don't think he smiled maybe a couple times, but he's like DJ. They don't show emotion. I mean, DJ did show emotion.
I wish I could be like that, bro. I really wish I could. But listen, shout out to Ruben Cruz with another $5 dono. Ruben, you are the man. Love you, Ruben. I honestly want to keep Girardi. Even Sanchez performed to his potential offensively and held everyone accountable. This team needs a kick in the ass. Listen, Ruben, I cannot agree with you anymore. I'm going to be completely honest. I think what the deal is with Girardi is we didn't know how good we had it until he was gone, right? A lot of people ripped on Girardi. I was obviously one of them as well. 17-year-old Patrick didn't really know much better. But looking back on it, Girardi was an awesome manager to have. Now, do I think that the Yankees should have moved on from Girardi? If he actually lost control of the clubhouse like was true, yeah, they should have moved on from him. But they should have kept a manager with old school mentality like Joe, who kind of kept these young players accountable. And I think that's where the Yankees went wrong. Now, I'm not trying to say Boone is never going to win a World Series in the Bronx because it's very possible he still will. But I think what they did was they looked at their core of young players, right? And I think what they assumed was that they needed a young manager to kind of go along with those guys and be their friend. And it was the complete opposite as to what this team really needed. Those young players needed a manager they could look at for a kick in the ass when needed, but also praise when necessary as well. And I feel like Boone is only that guy to give them praise majority of the time, and that's not good for a young core.
I have an analogy. You might not get it, but so I recently rewatched Tarzan, and in Tarzan, you have the Tarzan's dad, who was always really hard on him, and he never showed that love and appreciation. But when Tarzan's dad dies, he's like, "You were always my son," giving him the praise when it was needed. That's the type of person they need. Someone that's hard on them when it needs to happen, but when the time is right to give them that praise. Because at the end of the day, those words of praise will mean more knowing how rare it is to get those praise. Honestly, I wanted Tony Pena as our manager. I thought he would. I love Tony Pena.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mullins was my first pick.
Joe Espada leaving.
To be honest, Brandon, like out of the finalists, and obviously this is bad looking back on, I even wanted Beltran over Boone just because I thought he would be a better fit as well.
Beltran would have been an amazing manager. He would have been an amazing manager.
Let's see. We got a lot of good comments tonight. I want to bring up, I mean, this is kind of the same comment by Alexander, but that's why they got rid of Girardi. He held Sanchez accountable. They want a manager to be the player's best friend, and that's kind of what I just said. I think the issue is players aren't really held accountable now. The only player in the Yankees lineup that is playing with some sort of accountability attached to them for some reason is Clint Frazier. He's the only one where if he underperforms, his job is on the line. No one else kind of has that, and they know regardless of how they play, they're still going to be in the same spot. I mean, how many times did we see Hicks bat in the 3-hole after performing so poorly the night before? So it's kind of that lack of accountability, and I can see why people blame Boone for that. I definitely can. PJ King says, I love that 2017. That team had tenacity and grit. Girardi was a great manager. Yeah. Let me tell you something, Brandon. As much as people say Girardi lost that clubhouse in 2017, he won that clubhouse back at the end of the season and in the playoffs. They played that 2017 postseason for Girardi after that terrible blown miss challenge in game 2. That team kind of buckled up, and they were like, you know what? Like, especially after Girardi got booed during the introductions for game 3 at Yankee Stadium, this team kind of buckled up, and they're like, you know what? Like, we're going to play for our manager. Like, he made a mistake, but it's time for us to play to a talent level where it doesn't come down to a missed challenge call, right? So I think the issue is now that this team would never be able to come back from a 2-0 deficit in the ALDS. You know, I just don't see that tenacity and grit in this team, like PJ King says. And it's not even a talent thing because they have the talent to obviously win the World Series every year. But it's a mental thing. It's a grit thing. It's a killer instinct thing that I don't see this team having. And it could change with the flip of a switch, but we've yet to see it besides 2019.
The Yankees are like puppies. They just want to just like play. We need them to be tigers and lions who need to kill for what they want.
I agree.
I don't think this team will go to war. They need to go to war. Like, you know what? Let's just wait back. If it comes to us, it will happen. I feel like this team thinks they're just automatically going to get into the playoffs.
Do you think that comes from Boone?
No, I honestly just think that comes from knowing how each year's been like, oh, we start slow all the time. We'll pick it up. There's like, I think they looked at what the Rays did, like kind of getting rid of a bunch of big key players, saying, oh, the Blue Jays are maybe a year off. And they're like, you know what? We got this division on lockdown. They don't.
I like this comment by Ruben. They have no Mamba mentality. R.I.P. Kobe. Bro, they don't have Mamba mentality. They just don't. But I think what we have to remember, listen, chat, I say this just about every night. What we do have to remember is that while this team, this might be the worst loss of the season, right? Probably the worst they've looked. I can't remember a game where they've looked worse.
They've got 3 hit by Michael Wacha.
Yeah, no, and made 3 errors. Absolutely putrid game. But I think maybe what we could like draw from this, maybe this is a low point in the season, right?
Maybe Boone actually ripped into them and be like, guys, kind of pulled them up. I wouldn't say pulled them up by their bootstraps. He like maybe just slapped each and every one across the face. Like, what the hell is going on?
Due to COVID protocols, I don't know if that's allowed.
They all can put masks on. I don't care. They all been vaccinated. Hopefully, none of them get blood clots.
Here's my thing. If you look at like a trajectory, right? If you hit the bottom, you look at the bottom, you can only go up from the bottom.
The Yankees will find a way to dig down.
Like, I don't think, bro, if the Yankees started off the season like this, right? And then now they're like down here, this is rock bottom. The Yankees are at rock bottom, hopefully. You only go up from rock bottom. That's the one positive I could draw from this. And it's better to hit rock bottom this early in the season than later in the season, huh?
I agree.
There you go. Listen, shout out to you, Elvis, with another $5 dono. Appreciate you, my man. You're a straight up legend. If we don't wake up by the Indian series, we're in trouble because they can't hit either. So the Yankees have how many games until that? They have 4 more games until the Indian series.
Wait, don't the Braves come to town this week?
Yes,
I will say this. Ronald Acuna is going to have 3 at-bats a game. He's going to hit 9 home runs. That man scares me.
By the way, the Yankees optioned Michael King to the alternate site.
Makes sense. He threw a lot of pitches today.
But also, I mean, if you look at, that's why this race series is so important, right? Because you have one off day on Monday, and then after that, they play a lot of consecutive games. You're going to be using the bullpen a bunch. You're going to be draining the lineup a bunch. So that's why this race series is so important, because you want to go in.
It doesn't take much energy to go up there and swing and miss and look at 3 pitches down the middle.
No, I get it, but like you want to go into that series with some sort of momentum. You know, that big stretch of games with a big.
What is momentum? I don't think this team knows what that is right now.
We don't have it anymore. But like after Monday, you have 2 games against Atlanta, right? And then you go back on the road. You're looking at 4 against Cleveland and 4 against Baltimore, and then you play Detroit back at home. Bro, if you can't take 6 out of 8, you have a serious problem on our hands. And I think that's when I'll really start to be concerned about this
big
team.
Red button.
Bro, that's when I'll hit the big red button, because right now, chat, like you could see us, like we're a little bit disgruntled, as any fan would be about this team. Disgruntled, it's a good word to describe how we are right now.
You're really using the dictionary today.
No, I really am. Disgruntled is like the way I'm feeling right now. But if they don't take at least 6 out of 8 of this road trip coming up, big red button is being pressed easily.
Pat and I don't press the big red button often. We might have
to
press
I don't.
The big red. Like I have the one key. It's like the nuclear launch codes. He has a key. I have a key. We both have to turn at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Chad knows me. Like I'm usually like the beacon of positivity. Like I'm always like coming on here after a brutal loss, be like, Chick-fil-A. But like no, like bro, like we've come to a point where it's like this team has to figure something out at this point. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll just call you P. Stan makes so much money to be a DH. He can't play the field. He bats under 250. Why? Just why? And he can't stay healthy, and he always strikes out, bro. Why? Let me tell you this. I think the Yankees are making a huge mistake in not letting Stanton play the field, because it would just add so much versatility to that lineup. It would allow Gary to take up that DH spot sometimes. It would allow maybe Clint to get a day out of the field. And Clint clearly play. Well, I mean, listen, if Clinton was hitting, you want to put him at DH. It just expands the lineup a little bit more. If you want to if you want to give Clint a day off, DH Ford or something, like, you know what I'm saying? And Stanton clearly wants to play the field. They won't let him. Yeah, thank you, Brandon.
No, I was just adjusting myself.
He wants to play the field, but they clearly won't let him. And I think spring training would have been the time for him to do that. They wouldn't even let him do it in spring. So it's such a complicated situation.
I just don't even know anymore.
Let's see. Cool, Baltimore and Detroit. Yay. Bro, we say yay now looking at Baltimore and Detroit, but it's not going to be fun in games.
We have to face Akil Baddoo. We have to face Akil Baddoo. He's gonna go 16 for, if it's a 4-game series, 16 for 16 with 16 home runs.
Yeah, but bro, like let's not forget, like the Tigers have a decent lineup that I feel like will rip us to shreds. Like, bro,
Miggy will turn back the clock to 2012.
No, I know.
17 home runs.
Wilson Ramos is just gonna dog us. Akil Baddoo, dog us.
Casey Mize is gonna throw a perfect game.
Nico Goodrum, bro, like we're gonna get smoked by the Tigers. Also Jose Cisnero in the bullpen, absolutely gonna dominate. Let's see. Anthony Fernandez with some positivity. Loves to see it. Yo, chat. How about this? We've been so negative for the past 40 minutes. I want everyone in the chat to at least give us one happy take, one positive take from tonight's
I actually
game.
was thinking, I said, you want to know what the Yankees thing will be? You'd be like, they'd be like, screw it. Let's finally start playing well, and they'll chase Glasnow out in the first 4 innings. I don't know why I'm thinking that.
You actually see that happening, though?
If the Yankees are aggressive, Glasnow throws a lot of first pitch fastballs. If you know it's coming, hit it.
Bro, Glasnow really scares me. He's the only pitcher on the Rays that scares me.
The reason when he got the slutter, that's what he calls it, that makes him so much better, because now he's got a fastball, a developing changeup, a disgusting curveball, and that's, he also has, like, any pitcher who has long hair just automatically just throws harder.
Does that mean I would throw hard?
I mean, maybe. I mean, you're not 6'8", though.
I'm definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, no. Very tall. Again,
but listen,
screw the Pirates.
Oh yeah, they would have a solid ass rotation right now. But listen, tomorrow's a huge game for the Yankees. If they get absolutely demolished by Glasnow, they're at a high risk of being swept by the Rays. Just because, I mean, I know you have Cole on the mound on Sunday, but it's like you don't want him to go out there and like
score runs for Cole.
But that's what I'm saying. He's getting the DeGrom treatment, and it's pathetic at this point. I don't know. THE says I'm a pessimist by nature. That stuff just doesn't happen. The Yankees have too much talent. Play like this. Cole's gonna win Cy Young, still not get 10 wins. Literally Jacob DeGrom. Bro, it's so frustrating. It's really so frustrating. But I think, listen, there's a chance they get to Glasnow tomorrow, right?
They've done it before. Mike Ford hit a bomb off of him once.
There's one guy that I do want to bring up though, and that's Rugi Odor, right? I mean,
the elf,
bro. Apparently he's 5'11".
I think he's shorter than you. He's 100% shorter.
Probably is, right? Bro, there's no way he's 5'11". But his height to the side. I think kind of Yankee fans fell in love with him after that clutch single against the Rays in Tampa. But since then, what does he have, like one hit?
I don't think he has one.
Bro,
he has a double. I think he has a double. He has a single.
Could Derek Dietrich be any worse?
I think they would both be the same.
Because, I mean, but here's my thing. We knew this about Rougned Odor. We knew he wasn't a good hitter. The dude had like a 208 on-base percentage all of last season. Like, he's not a good hitter. He hasn't been a good hitter since 2018. I don't understand what the point of having Derek Dietrich at the alternate side is if you're just going to get like a copycat of him in Rougned Odor, who's probably worse of a hitter.
You know who we need, Pat? Rossell Herrera.
He's playing in China? Chad, if you guys know where that comes from, you're a legend. Let's see. Yes, Pat, Derek could be worse. How though? Like, is it even
Derek
possible?
I love Derek Dietrich as much as you, but like he's home run or bust.
Do you think he could be worse than what we have right now?
I think he'll at least maybe play better.
At least he gets on base.
Yeah, from hit by pitches, but Rougned Odor can't get hit by a pitch because he swings.
That's true, bro. The ball will hit him and he'll swing at it. Let's see. Dietrich also sucks though. He's literally the same type of player offensively as Odor. He provides more versatility defensively though. Listen, Chad, I like Derek Dietrich. Like we can't really move past that. But classic unhinged moment. Yeah, classic unhinged moment. Odor gonna knock someone in our own clubhouse and see if that gets their attention.
He'll swing and miss.
That's a good one. Was that off the top of your head too?
It was.
I like it. But here's my thing. Take it with a grain of salt. I think the thing with Odor is if he does that, the Yankees clubhouse still wouldn't wake up. It really wouldn't. Boone would be like, it's a very scary incident. Due to the incident that happened in the clubhouse, we're not going to be playing today. Glaber's just going to be healing with some ice on his eye. But I don't know, bro.
Next thing you know, scratched, like ruptured cornea, like out for like 7 years.
You know, I scratched my cornea when I was like younger.
Yeah,
I told you.
I feel like you've told us this story before.
Yeah, I was playing basketball. I was like 10, bro. Some kid raked my eye, scratched my cornea. Brutal. I'm pretty sure I have like perfect vision now, but like, yeah, just saying. Let's see, bro. The only thing Odor doesn't miss is Batista's face. Another quality joke. Brandon, you have some competition over here. This lineup is power-ridden and being passive. Those two never work together, especially when taking mid-90s fastballs down the middle, which should be batting practice to this lineup. Yes. I think that kind of goes back to the Marcus Timms discussion that we had a little bit earlier. The philosophy needs to change, right? Especially when you're down 8-0 in a game. Bro, don't be looking boom or bust. Like, to be honest, like I know Stanton crushed an opposite field home run. Maybe in that situation I would have preferred like an opposite field double. Is that crazy to think about?
No, runs.
That's a little bit crazy to think about. But I would like to see these guys like push the ball to the other side of the field and just put the ball in play. I think a better example, rather than like taking away Stanton's home run, I think I would like to see like Glaber slap the ball to the other side. Gio does it greatly. I love Gio, but like, bro, these guys need to just be more fundamental hitters rather than just like power strokers. Does that make sense? Bro, I'm getting to the point where it's like I'm getting like heated to like I'm seeing like a vein pop out of my neck. And I never have veins pop out of my neck. That's not fun. Deep breaths. We're gonna have quite the meditation tonight before we end. Dietrich versus Odor clubhouse fight for the last roster spot. Who you got?
Derek Dietrich. He would just
right.
Odor.
Bro, I think Derek Dietrich would absolutely demolish Rougned Odor. If we're talking like one-on-one boxing match, demolished. Sorry, not sorry. Hire Showalter and Theo.
No, I mean,
Didn't Theo get a job somewhere?
He got a job in the commissioner's office. Did you see the state of the Cubs right now? After they won that World Series, Theo did absolutely nothing to help the team.
But
he still
won World Series.
He brought them one.
He did. All right, I don't know if it's the same guy that keeps saying this.
Do not look like Bo Bichette.
Patrick looks like Bo Bichette. I must get this at least once a stream.
I think it's the hair.
It might be the hair.
It might be the hair. The face, no.
Okay.
Bo Bichette looks like a child.
All right, I don't look like a child. Thank you. But
Bo Bichette looks like he's like 14.
Chat, if you guys are going to say I look like somebody, I think I look more like Andrew Benintendi when he had long hair.
Yes.
Than Bo Bichette. Like, if we want to compare me to somebody, I'll probably say that. Dude, Garrett Cole is probably calling DeGrom's mental health therapist on how to deal with anger management for pitching 8 innings of no-run ball and still not getting a win. Bro,
wins for a pitcher like a worthless stat.
No, I get it, but it's definitely frustrating on the mound, not being able to get any run support. And Garrett Cole is probably one of the only people on the Yankees where we see that killer instinct out of, right? Like, honestly, who else has that killer instinct?
Just go out there mentality. If everyone there's one thing you don't roast when you're like having a roast battle. Don't go after someone's mom. Every Yankee player should just go out there and be like, the other team disrespected their mother. Because would you ask them this? They would defend if someone after their mom, there's one person you would defend your life for. It's your mom. Yankees should just act like that.
Defend my life for Garrett Cole.
And Castellanos.
No, he's so done. Yeah. No, that was like 2018, Patrick. Let's see.
Sonny Gray gonna throw a no-hitter?
The voice? I've never heard Bo Bichette speak in my life. If we have the same voice, that would be a little bit creepy. I'm not even gonna lie. They need the ghost Babe Ruth to come out to the clubhouse like in the Sandlot.
Drunk off of his mind.
What? Wait, what?
You don't know the story of Babe Ruth? Like, when almost all the games he played, he was drunk off of his mind.
Yeah, okay. Johnny said, OMG, Pat moved on from Castellanos. Yeah, look, Castellanos was like a 2018, 2019 Pat thing. I've moved on as a man. We're more of like a Jorge Soler kind of guy. Jorge Soler's an absolute dog, bro. He's a tank. I don't see the Yankees ever getting him, though, but he's the typical guy like to come to the Yankees, have like 200 strikeouts per year, hit like 30 bombs, and fans will absolutely despise him. So perfect Yankee. The Yankees need Shane Green and Chris Martin to solidify the bullpen and maybe a back-of-the-rotation starter like Cole Hamels or Mike Leake.
Mike Leake will get his... Mike Leake throws 88 miles an hour and gives up a lot of home runs. No, thank you.
Before we do wrap up tonight, David Robertson's still a free agent, right?
Yeah, he must have not pitched well on his showcase.
That's weird. That's really weird. But listen, chat, I do want to wrap things up tonight. I think what the important thing to note, actually, before I do give my closing comments, I am going to be going live on Twitch directly after the stream tonight.
Yeah, you're going to be playing me, right?
No, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. Go head over there after we do finish the stream. I'll be live. But closing comments for tonight. Don't get too concerned yet. I know the games are really frustrating. It's still early in the season. The Yankees are going to turn around eventually. I guess we'll see. But let's meditate for the Yankees to get better, right? 5-second meditation. Hopefully tomorrow they could just rock glass now. That's what I'm going to meditate for, right? 3, 2, 1, meditate. That was peaceful. It was peaceful. It was peaceful. Listen, chat. Like I said, head over to twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. If anybody wants to join the Unhinged New York Discord, where I know a bunch of people chat during the game, about the game, I'm about to paste a link to that in the YouTube chat as well, so anybody could join there if my mouse would work. There we go. Let me just pop this in the chat really quick. Yeah, and on that note, I will see you guys next time. Hope to see some of you on Twitch in about 2 minutes, so head over there, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. See you tomorrow for the pregame at 12 p.m., and then we're going to be going live directly after the game as well. You guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you on Twitch. Peace.